She stood in my kitchen, rearranging my shelves with a smug authority, as if she owned not just the plates, but me. And she wore my clothes, a silk blouse I'd bought with my first paycheck. My perfume clung to her like theft. "We're staying indefinitely," she announced, without looking at me. I looked at my husband. He said nothing. Silence, his favorite betrayal. That was the moment I knew I wasn't going to fight her. I was going to bury them both. I married him young, too young. I mistook quiet for kindness, patience for loyalty. But silence can be sharper than cruelty. Silence can cut the deepest. The first red flag was how often his mother called. Every decision, our apartment, our furniture, even our wedding, filtered through her. When I resisted, he folded. Every time. "It's easier this way," he'd murmur. I thought marriage was about building a life together. He thought it was about handing me over. 5 days. That's how long she stayed before I snapped. 5 days of her parading through my house like a queen. 5 days of her pawing through my closets, sleeping in my bed when she pleased, critiquing my cooking in the very kitchen I'd designed down to the tiles. 5 days of his silence, his refusal to defend me. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I smiled, nodded, played the obedient hostess. Inside, I was cataloging every insult, every trespass, every weakness. On the third night, while she soaked in my bath with champagne in hand, I walked into the garage. His car, paid off with my money. The deed to the house, also mine, bought before the marriage, my name alone. Every bill, every payment traced back to me. He had contributed nothing. They thought they were suffocating me in my own home. They forgot whose name was on the deed. On the 5th morning, I woke up before dawn. I stood in the kitchen she had rearranged, looking at the new placements. Glasses where the plates should be, spices hidden behind canned goods. A mess of someone else's order imposed on mine. And I laughed. That laugh was freedom, because in that moment I stopped being their victim. I became their executioner. It was simple. First, I packed a single bag, essentials only, passport, documents, cash I had saved over years of being underestimated. Second, I called my lawyer, quietly, efficiently. I wanted separation papers filed by the end of the week. No warning, no discussion. Then I called the bank, froze every joint account, transferred my private funds to an untouchable trust. By noon, I had vanished. I didn't leave a note. I didn't say goodbye. Instead, I arranged something better. That evening, a courier arrived at the doorstep, a large envelope in hand. Inside, eviction papers, legal notice, proof of ownership. My husband and his mother stood there stunned. As the courier explained, they had 72 hours to vacate. The neighbors saw it. They always do. And gossip travels faster than any official notice. By midnight, half the street knew. The king and queen of my household had been dethroned. He called, of course. At first, the voice of a child caught misbehaving. "Why didn't you tell me? We could have worked this out." Then, the rage of a man stripped bare. "You can't do this to me. This is my home." I let him scream, let him spit words he could never retract. And then, when he paused for breath, I said the only truth that mattered. It was never your home. Not once. And I hung up. They scrambled. His mother posted online about being betrayed by a selfish daughter-in-law. But screenshots of her wearing my clothes, lounging in my house, spread just as quickly. He tried to convince the neighbors it was a misunderstanding. But no one believed a man who had lived off his wife's back and let his mother reign in her place. 3 days later, they were gone. The house was mine again. Silent, empty, but not lonely. Sometimes I sit in that kitchen, the one she tried to remake. I run my fingers along the shelves, each item back where I placed it. Order restored. The neighbors still whisper about the day the courier came, how the queen and her silent prince were toppled in front of everyone. But I don't care what they say. What matters is what I reclaimed. My house, my life, my name. Revenge delivered. And for the first time in years, peace.